assalamu alaikum moro abe nyaadi kortan nko mbeddo ko lan kankan kono sai non kibaro nata na mobile kono message o e konsina na sunkar baluwol kama baluwol biti koto dukara jibe min keta sukuro ni mano ni tulo ni jabo ni fento mal ma koy dukare ta ma koy bamba abarka badul dannon balu wala bitiki do fananti Gambia kono jang bari be wayrin banko karo be la birin koy na fo katon momo ndin damin sutiyate tala ikata woloto oto momoro ndi be tubabu du foy diwlo mbam foy bari ndin no mbam foy munom alta baluwo alkasandiro ka la moliye je yena baluwo la dulal to yalla fenta andu ne sandiro ka baluwo ma fo euro tansay dol ko euro tansay e ka 5 euro la kay ka fo minna ko la fandan wala voucher wo inole mina bitu koto luwolu non ni yasandiro ke may sake la fandante pour yata andung ni sambar ko e batandi ya jakal ko fanan soto balu wala karola ya taxi service soto wa taxi service wo fanan kela fen sammano la foya batatije toratije ini sabo nyoto membe dendin kaspa wala no credit ko anim fenjama simentol nin ku kote nyon jama baluwo kanyum fanan be sono andi no molele badul be duniya dawda al sasa no alla molele nin sunkaro kono felentin tankata batalan tankata tilola torola nata baluwo nganda fen be sot momo damin sutiyate le dro tawoto baluwo ko nin kuntuta nyaadi min ka kumfal ni lafta ka ku ko lon baluwo la kwoto ibe tin samla min tole ela juluba fankol e ka fo minna ko www.baluwo.com ni etin samje dore ka baluwo la kullo ni la kuwo belo la batati je alngata minto baluwo.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnels who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635 9906.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Hello and welcome to the Brunch on Kerr Fatou. I am Lamin Cham. This is our weekly current affairs program that comes your way every Saturday, and the program which also looks through the major stories of the week and gets different perspectives from panelists each week by this time on this Kerr Fatou Live. This week, the Auditor General's report of 2017 has generated a lot of debate and controversy. My panelists and I myself will help you guide you to have a better understanding of what has been reported and what exactly is the background to this story. Plus, we will also look at other issues such as the 6th legislature. We continue our look at what is before them. What has the 5th legislature failed to realize, and what do we expect as Gambians from the 6th legislature? And cabinet, new cabinet, eminent. As we have already been expecting, a new cabinet will have to be formed, I must say that, in these coming days. Announcement is expected over the weekend, but now we hear is likely to come on Wednesday. What cabinets are you expecting as a Gambian for President Barrow to put together? So stay tuned on these Kerr Fatou Live on the Brunch. My panelists will help bring their perspective so that you can understand the issues better. And I am happy to introduce Madi Jobarteh. He is a journalist, activist, and human rights defender. He is in the studio with me. Madi, welcome.
Thank you.
Sheriff Sarr, former soldier. He is also a writer and commentator on Gambian affairs. Sarr, welcome.
Thank you.
Kexx Sanneh, otherwise called Kexx, is journalist, politician, political activist, and he too has done a lot of work on this particular topic we're talking about. He's in the studio. Kexx, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, Kexx, let me begin with you, or can I begin with Sarr? Let me go right and then come to Madi. I mentioned 3 topics. One, the major one, of course, is the Auditor General's report. A summarized version for 2017, which was reported in the media, indicating, and I saw the cover of the summarized report, indicating that some $669 million was withdrawn without the Accountant General's permission from an account that was called security account. And the expenses of 2017 indicated that 669 have been withdrawn from this account. Now, along the way, of course, we heard that the government says only $35 million have been used from this account under President Barrow's regime. Now, we want to establish that. And also, we want to know those who have been paid from this account. Are they culpable of anything? Has anybody done wrong? Is the account itself legally operated? Those are the issues we're going to discuss now. Sam, tell me, what is your understanding of this issue?
Yeah, my understanding, thank you very much. Hey, hi, everybody. Okay, my understanding of the whole thing, which I wrote about, is that, the first reporters who really took the material from the auditor's report misinterpreted it. Either they misunderstood what they read, or they wanted just to throw it as red meat to the political hounds who will use it too.
I can enlighten you on that. There was an interview with the auditor,
yes,
who confirmed that this 669
yes,
was actually expenditure of 2017. Although later on, different interpretations have come.
no, apparently you need to read the fine prints in the report itself, because I got the report and I read through it.
Okay.
And what I found
Yeah.
was that this particular account they're talking about
Yeah.
was opened in 2012 and went through 2017, 5 years.
Yes.
I don't know whether it was ever audited or whether the
According to the report, you have to look at the
No.
auditors.
What I'm saying is, did the Auditor General
Yeah.
at that time ever come out to say there is an account running out there that needs to be audited, and it's not audited, it's illegally open. All the 9 yards of what they are talking about right now being said in the in the window between 2012 and 2017. I never had them, I never had it anywhere. If they did, I think it was silently done. But my understanding of it is that, reading through, there were 220 transactions between 2012 and 2017 in this particular account. The amount of money that went into this account from 2012 to 2017 was this number we're talking about as being $633,229,723.59 buttons. That's the amount of money that went in and out. I remember the first amount deposited there was on January 24th. January 24th by this other man, by Lamin S. Kamara, who was permanent secretary at the president's office, Jammeh's office. I used to hear a lot about him. And his name has repeatedly surfaced in the payments into this account. The first person to withdraw from this account was Adama Njai, who has also repeatedly withdrawn from this account. Okay. Fast forward now. Yes.
Because we have a long way to go.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to explain is that, all right, as much as that went in, within this period, another $631,717,859 came out. This was not in 2017.
Okay.
This has been going on from 2012 to 2017.
All right.
And the balance when they were closing this account was $1,511,863.97 buttons.
Okay.
So this was in 2017. And in 2017, they opened the same account in a different number, but the same name.
Okay.
And that was the one that in court about $41,687,902.77, and they expended $35,844,485.70 buttons.
Okay.
That's the whole thing that went in.
Now, I'm having the front cover of the summarized version of the audit of the report, which says now, all accounts and withdrawals in this account should have been made with the approval from the Accountant General. Special security accounts, which were closed on our recommendations, were opened again with the same account name but a different number, and withdrawals totaling to 669 million were made from the account.
Yes.
We could not determine the balance on closure during the audit of these accounts, or whether the funds were used for approved budgeted activities because statements were not provided. This is a violation of the Public Finance Act 2014. The transfer and activities on these accounts may be different from those approved by the National Assembly, or the public funds used for disbursement, or these funds may be used for disbursement that is not genuine.
Yes. Again,
this is the cover story of the summarized version of the audit report 2017, and it does says $669 million. So
yes,
so for those who went along with the 669 million, I'm trying to tell you, they got it from somewhere. So that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but then what I'm trying
to now,
listen,
what you have tried now.
I went through the.
That's right. You went through, even the auditors could make errors. You went through to put every skeleton, to peel off skeleton from the flesh, and to say exactly how much have been spent, when was this account open. Now the other issue is, Sam, the auditor said the account should not have been opened in the first place.
Listen,
what was wrong with that?
The account was opened in 2012. We were all here. We never heard about them complaining about the opening of this account.
Even if they have done, because remember, this thing has been made public by the press,
Yes.
Most of the auditors' reports have happened, but they have never been published anywhere.
Yes, but what I'm
why it could have been done, but then the press didn't know about it.
But listen, let me just add one more thing.
Yeah.
Remember, there is a clause, there's a statement in this same report saying that because of skimpy capacity, they have not been doing their auditing. In fact, they are late 2 years in their auditing process. You know that. They said that. They have been 2 years late in their auditing process, crowning it with the fact that even the 2009 auditing has not been completed. 2019.
Yeah.
So it means that even this 2017 auditing they're talking about was done in 2019, if they are late. So these accounts were closed in 2017. For them to tell us that we told them after the auditing to close it, but they open it again, is spooky to me.
But do you agree that the account and the basis the account was operating outside the regulations of public finance? You agree that happened?
Let me put it this way.
No, do you agree that happened?
I want to agree it happens.
Is that wrong or fine?
The reason
right?
for
that's wrong or right?
You see, like I was in the military, I was in the government.
Yeah.
There were certain accounts.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go to the SIS today, there are accounts that are budget that are not budgeted even openly. They are put there for emergency. You use them, you replenish them. These accounts were more or less like that. They were open. Executive decision can do it. They can open it, use it if there is emergency, and replenish it.
But
if you look at if you look at the 41 million, all the names are there. In fact, I saw Debaja was saying that I took it for an emergency visit to Sierra Leone.
Per diem.
Per diem. Yes, because there are urgent situations where if you want to wait for the process of raising a voucher, going to the accountant general, central bank, and so on, it might take 2 to 3 days. One. Number two, you cannot expect the attorney general or the chief justice, the vice president, or running after their voucher, going to the central bank,
they delegate their people to go.
But then the process takes too long.
They delegate people to do that.
Let me tell you, in fact, I have heard about even ministers who have been outside the country, and they tell them on their way that they have another meeting somewhere, and they send them money urgently.
Now, do you think that's again justified for a government, especially at the presidential level, to operate an account that is outside all public finance regulations? What about if other revenues are there, the revenues that are coming there that are not declared, they are not known by the state, are put there? Is that all right or not? Where were the funds coming from in the first place? What do you think?
You want to ask?
For example, where are the funds coming from for that account?
Listen, you can see that most of the per diems that were paid, they were returned to the account.
How do you know that? Because we didn't see that. They were returned to the government account.
Oh yes,
they were taken from the government account to this account.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but
because there have been transfers a lot.
So you are basically what you are saying that you did not see anything wrong.
I don't.
In the office of the president.
No.
Just as it happened on the Jammeh, you think it is not wrong also, it happens on the Barrow to operate this account where monies are going to be put there without the authorities knowing, the accountant general, etc., knowing. It is not been audited. There are recommendations that should be shut down. It was reopened. You think there is nothing wrong there? As far as
shutting down of it is what I cannot determine when they advise the government to shut it down. Because if they are 2 years late, then auditing this 2017 was done in 2019. And for them to tell us we told them to shut it down when they have not completed their auditing is really laughable.
But if they have seen that the manner this account has been opened and been operated is outside the regulations, they gave instruction for it to be closed.
No. That came later. Of course, what they said about calling them to stop opening the account, they said the reason they gave in particular was that they did not follow certain procedures,
Exactly.
which they spelled out.
The accountant general didn't know.
That no,
time
there
in the
were
first place.
procedures that if they follow, the account could be opened.
But they didn't do that.
No, you don't know. You
All
don't
right,
know
all right.
because
We'll come back to that.
If the advice was given in 2019, you know, when they close it, you don't know.
17.
No. The auditing was done in 2017.
The reopening was done in 2017.
No. Because listen, the 2017 auditing was done in 2019, going by their statement.
Okay.
Because they are 2 years late.
Okay. Let's get to Kexx Sanneh. Kexx,
Yeah.
you made a startling revelation on social media. You got yourself a lot of bashing from critics who said you did it for political reasons. And then you are the first person to expose names of the people who benefited from the account, even though, as Sam said, it does look like those people are paid per diem, so traveling allowances, and they probably didn't have any idea, you know, where the money was coming from.
Yeah, the Bajao said so.
Yes, and so many others may not have. Because, I mean, you are traveling. You know, you are supposed to be paid government. You don't know where his money is coming from. As far as you are concerned, it's from government.
Yeah.
So which account nobody can.
And government budgets for per diems.
Exactly.
You know that.
You wouldn't know that. In fact, where the money is coming from should not have operated. You wouldn't know that. So they have nothing to answer. But Kexx, take us through the background to this thing.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is thank you for having you, Madi and Uncle Sam. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm so grateful. Mr. Njai, you will understand that actually there is
Mr. Sarr.
Mr. Cham. Mr. Cham. So the whole issue is about the auditor's report that was presented before the Parliament, and after the total scrutiny of the whole process of the transaction that has taken place in 2017 to establish what they have detected in their auditing, that 633 for me from my side, because that's what I have in the auditor report. That I have the report that I have before me was missing, and another $41 million too was actually missing, because missing in the sense that the proper procedures were not taken, or the due process of the law was not actually followed.
Could it be that it is that would have been 7? Could it be the 66, 63 plus 41 that they added to 669?
It is
that will give you 71 million total.
That would be 71.
71, 701 something, 701. So if you add all of them together,
if you add 33 million plus 41,
633 million plus 41 million.
683 plus 41.
So they said 669. Okay,
yeah.
But anyway, that's not important. Go ahead.
So, but first we will look at the context of even the special account itself, whether it has passed the due process of the law, the requirement of the Constitution. And it's very clear if you go to section 50 of the Constitution, where they talk about contingent fund. They say that the government, all the monies that are raised or received on behalf of the government must be put in the consolidated fund. And if government has to open any account, it has to come through the approval of the National Assembly. Any other account, if they want to create that special account, they should have come to the Parliament and requested that for this emergency purpose, we want to create this special security account. That's the language of the Constitution. Anything beyond that is illegal.
So that means, since we are told it started in 2012,
yes,
Jammeh administration opened it illegally.
Illegally.
So let's go to the reopening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when this administration came, they found out that this is illegal at the first place.
They discovered that and agreed among themselves
they
that
discovered
it's illegal.
It's illegal, it's not correct, and they decided to close. And it was not only one account. 12 accounts, special accounts were closed. They
inherited that from Jammeh.
And there's so many accounts where the gateways were pumped, there were special order in the minings, the black sands. They were special accounts that were created.
They were all closed.
Yes, and Dr. Barrow's administration, they went and closed. Up to 12 accounts were closed.
Okay.
You know, through that. But they went and find out that, okay, maybe they look at this special account and they went and decide and reopen it.
Who reopened it?
According to the auditor report, where in October he said that, you know, a similar special account was opened. A security account number was also opened by the Office of the President with the permission of the Ministry of Finance.
So, Sam, the President's office opened a special account with the same number but not name, or name but not number. This time with the permission of the Ministry of Finance.
Ministry of Finance, that's what they said.
But not National Assembly.
Not the minister, but they said the ministry. So one will find out that, or you will question who is the head of the ministry. Because if there's any problem, you point your fingers at the ministry. So we will point our fingers at the ministry.
But again,
the minister
again, this the national
flatly.
And this was April 20.
Where did he say that? Not the finance minister. The former finance minister said he denied that he didn't know it. That's true. Yeah.
And this was April 2017.
And
April.
This is behind the National Assembly.
Yeah, this was behind it because there was no since I was in the National Assembly since 2017. There was no issue that was discussed that the government wanna create a special account and they are seeking permission from the National Assembly.
The coalition government copied exactly what
Jammeh was
did.
doing. And they didn't only also violate there, but if you go to the Public Finance Act, it is telling you that the Accountant General is the custodian of all government accounts. So that means that there should be no account that is created in this country without the consent of the Accountant General. And in the audit, the Accountant General is claiming that the payments, the payment of funds into this account as well as the expenditure incurred were not sanctioned by the Accountant General. As he claimed that he has no control over this account. This is the words of the Accountant General.
So when is the Accountant General saying this? When is he say this?
You know, when auditors
2017.
Well, I'm asking, when did he say?
We don't know.
We don't, because
these people audited
this is
this
no,
in 2019.
Now we have come into clarity.
The problem, the problem is when this new parliament came into being, they have inherited what we call a bad luck. Since 2012, there was no account presented to the parliament for scrutiny. So 2012 account, 13, 14 of all government's accounts were never presented to the parliament. So they inherited what we call a bad law. So for them to have what we call a fair view of all these public accounts, they must start from 2012 to know what is the finances, what were the cost of the monies these accounts have been, so that they will investigate and know the fair view of this account. So they started from 2012, to bring to demand from the auditors general to bring the 2012 audited account, the 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. You understand? So that they can catch up. Then when they reach, then they will start afresh in 2017, because that was their tenure of office, to audit before their end of time. Maybe they will finish. But the problem is, the Accountant General must force audit the internal auditors and prepare the ground for the Auditor General to come and account their books. Then if the Accountant General do that, then he will then present that account report to the National Assembly for scrutiny and come with a recommendation. But the Accountant General too is given a power that if he finds any misappropriation or any fraudulent activity, can write to the Inspector General of Police to investigate, and sanction must be put onto that. That is the power given to the Auditor General. So the National Assembly members are not given that power. The National Assembly, the powers that they are given is to recommend and ask the Accountant General to act on it, since he's the one who is vested with the power. But you will hear people say that the National Assembly has the power of the High Court. That interpretation is that they have the High Court to call witness to come and by force and give information. That's the power they have. That they can call any person to come, and failure to do that is a contempt of the National Assembly. That's the power where it lies. So this is the whole process is illegal. So why I came with the list is for people to understand that the auditor's report is talking about two different accounts. The one is the 600 that the others are saying 669.
Yes, 600 whatever.
That's what they are saying. But they say a similar account was, and monies are put into these all accounts, these two accounts. But the the Jammeh's administration is whole accountable for the 663 million dollars that was. It was not Barrow's, and they didn't know anything about that.
That's clear.
That's clear.
Like the Secretary General said.
That's very clear.
Whatever happened, the lion's share of this money was expended by Jammeh's
administration.
Like the Secretary General said,
it's very clear.
35 million or so is what has been spent on the
Barrow's administration.
Very clear.
So what was from there? Before the account will close, $5 million was left there, because what was deposited, if you minus 600 and what was withdrawn, you'll find out that $5 million was there. But the auditors at the time of their auditing, they could not trace out the balance that was left in that account.
Oh, so that means somebody did away with that
$5 million. That's what.
So when it was opened afresh, how much was put there? I don't know. They said it was transferred to something was transferred to the consolidated.
That's what they said. They are telling you that. They are telling you that. Okay. Where has the withdrawal amount of 63 at the time of the close of the account in 2017? There was no evidence provided to confirm that the balance at the time of the close.
They said there was no evidence, so there was a balance
to confirm the balance.
Well, did they search for it? Because what I'm trying to say is that
So that's the issue.
Let's go
So
ahead.
that's the problem.
No, we are coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one is clear.
let's go ahead.
Jammeh was
What
in charge.
happened
Yeah, that
after-
was
No, but-
everything was Jammeh.
Okay, what happened after the reopening?
But from there,
we are coming there.
so that
balance
was
is evident.
February 2017.
Okay.
That the borough administration find out that this account, they closed it February. But only to open it 2 months. April 2017, they went and opened the same account name, security, special security account, with a different account on. And $41 million was pumped into that account.
yes, and 35 million.
And $35 million, 800 and something was withdrawn from the account, leaving an outstanding balance of
5 million.
5 million and something.
That is what is transferred to the consolidated.
That was in Barrow's administration.
That one, you missed a point. He's trying to say the time the was initially shut down, the auditors could not have evidence of that balance 5 million. That's what he's saying.
No, because what even in fact
No.
the 63. Listen, the 633.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. You know, in Jammeh's administration, if you minus what I'm telling you, 633 million minus from 633 and 631, you are left with only 1 million.
$1 million $511,000.
So $1 million could not be traced out. But in Barrow's administration, from the 41 and the 35, 5 million is there. But it is confirmed in the auditor report, and we can confirm that at the closure of the account in October 27, with a branch was transferred to the consolidated fund.
Yeah.
And that's the legal account that where money should be
You don't
kept.
understand.
No, I do. That's what he said.
When it was initially shut down,
Yes.
there was to be 1 point.
Something million,
They say
1.5 million.
1,511,863,000. No
863,000.
evidence that this is there.
Yes.
No, they said they don't know where it is. But
No evidence there.
listen, the evidence is
not
there in the
provided to
numbers.
confirm the balance at the time of the
The
close.
They said
evidence.
they have no evidence to confirm.
Listen, the evidence is in the numbers.
Okay. So
Because
now,
the amount put in.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
you
now,
ta- if you
if you put this
if
1
you
million,
subtract
if you
the
put this 1
amount-
million,
Yes.
the
if you
amount
put
used-
now listen, if you put this 1 million, that's the auditor said they have no evidence. You put it to the 41 million that was injected into the account when it was open, and then you
You will have
total
42
that.
million.
Then if you deduct the expenditure, how much will left?
You will be left with $6 million. That is
And that's not what is reported here.
that's not what is not.
No,
So the formula is not seen anywhere.
No, Lamin, you are missing something
So,
here.
no,
He is saying
what-
that he is differentiating two accounts.
Two
here.
accounts here for you.
The amount that you
But the question is who closed the Jammeh's account?
Who closed the
Jammeh's account. That's the question. Then that's the
Yeah,
way you
because
will know
Jammeh's
that
account-
where the balance
When
was.
was Jammeh's account closed?
That was, I'm telling you, February 2017. Who
That
was
is the coalition government who closed it.
Closed the account.
It's the government that closed
And
it.
a balance was left there, $1.5 million.
Yeah, government-
Where was
But-
that balance?
But
Is the
there's a
question.
balance there.
No, listen, the auditor said they cannot see that about
They
balance.
could not confirm it.
And if that was there, and you add it to the 41 million, then you take the expenditure, you will still have 6 million.
$6 million.
But they even say they have 5 million.
$5 million
Yeah,
that
so
was
that-
traced.
that initial balance is not seen anywhere.
No. If the Auditor General was honest enough in trying to make things clear, they will say that we expect this amount to be the balance.
Yes, that's what they
But
said.
they didn't say that.
They said there was no evidence about the balance.
Yes, but they could have
But they
subtracted.
did the subtraction.
No, if
they
you
more
go
than
to-
1 million.
If you go to
No,
did you
they
read
did
the final? Yeah,
This
is
they
a
indicated
summary
there.
of the
They did
auditor
not.
report.
I
If-
read through it. They did
Okay,
not.
all right. So
they
now,
acted as no balance existed that they knew about.
yes,
But
no
the
evidence
reality
about it.
is, if you read their report,
Yeah.
you will know that there was a balance of 1,511,000.
So where's that?
They should have told us that there was 1,511,000 that was supposed to be there, but we did not see it.
That's what they said here.
No, they did not say that.
Okay, read that.
They did not say
Let's
that.
read that. What did they say?
did not say
No,
that.
let's read that.
There was no evidence provided to confirm that the balance at the time of the closure of the account.
So there's
No, but give us
basically say we don't.
No.
We don't see.
Give us the numbers that this is what was expected to be found there, but we did not trace it.
Listen,
But they are
no,
telling you
listen,
that
listen,
633 was pumped into
now
the
listen,
account and then
Kexx. Now, some agreed that 633 was there.
Yes.
And 6 something was
631.
spent. Okay, how much is left?
Then 1 point something million, that should be left.
1,511,000.
So that should have been there, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That's-
No, that should have been there. We
Yes,
all agree.
yes.
But the auditor says didn't see it.
They didn't see it.
No, but what I'm trying to tell you that the auditors should have been honest enough to tell us that
That's what
this
he
is-
said here.
No, they did not say that. They should have told us that this is what we expected to be there as a balance.
Yes.
But we did not find it.
No,
there.
but if you
Okay,
Now
now-
what they are saying is
Sam,
there
no,
was no balance
no,
at
no,
all.
let me help him.
Sam,
You know,
Deguru, Sam,
if you check
Sam,
the financial
Deguru,
statement.
Sam.
No.
No, there are two. This is just a summary.
It's Kexx. Sam, Sumalane, téeméeri dërëm moo war a des.
waaw
ma ne la de man gisuma dara fa dara.
waaw
loolu mooy benn wax bi la. ok Kexx.
if you understand.
dañu war a expliquer.
They are summarizing here.
Okay, that's a short. Okay,
but if you check here, come and say, like they are summarizing it because they are telling you that this is the amount paid to here. So if you automatically subtract that was withdrawn, you know that's something. But if you go to the financial statement, everything was clear there. You know, this is just the summary of the auditor report. But you have the management letter, you have the financial statement, you have what we call there are 3 documents.
What more clarity that this?
So, but in there they will tell you minus this 1.5 million. They put it in the financial statement that this was what was mine, but they could not trace it up. But now in the summary, they are just telling you at the time, because they are explaining to you that with these 2 accounts, if you subtract this is what, but at the time of the close of the account, we could not trace even this $1.5 million. We cannot tell you where it is for now. So that's there. So why the second issue came in where people were thinking that I deliberately went and published the names because they have to understand.
Why do you do that?
Okay, number one, very good. They said a similar account was created when this one, Jammeh's administration account was closed because they found out that it's illegal, it's not in line with the Public Finance Act, it's not in line with the Constitution, and there should be no account that is created outside the National Consolidated Fund. All monies must be paid there. If PDM and every ministry approved by the National Assembly has what we call travel expenditures budget line, either in the ministry, even office of the president. So the office of the president is budgeted for every travel. So he should not have any special account where he will be paying per diem if people travel. It should come from the budget line that was approved by the National Assembly, saying that the expensive of the president's travel. Because that was already been captured by the National Assembly, and they can trace it out because there's already a budget line that was created. And the account.
Are you suggesting that all these per diems, if their travel is connected with president trips, that's budgeted by the National Assembly?
It's budget. If you look at every budget.
So where's this money done? Then where's this account? What is the need for the account then?
So this is the question. If you look at
What
this
is
is
the need
29,
for
every
that
budget
account?
line.
Urgency, expediting, emergency
So where
issues.
are this money coming from? The money that flowed into this account. What under Jammeh and Barrow?
Listen,
where the money coming from?
Let's come to Barrow's.
Now where is the money coming from?
That's
where the problem is.
Indeed.
No, listen.
Where's the money coming
Lamin,
from?
this is government.
No, listen.
Lamin Kamara, you guys should go to Lamin S. Kamara.
Sam, let's
go
talk
to
about
Lamin S. Kamara.
Sam, the law says.
He was
Now,
the
I will come to
secretary.
Lamin
All the resources of the money.
We
all
don't
the
need to
money
go to
received
Lamin. We don't need to
or
go to Lamin.
given.
You know what we need to do? The law says all revenues that the Gambia government should have should all be known
Yes.
and deposited in the consolidated account.
Yes.
And budgeted by the parliament. This will go for this, this will go for this. Exactly this the amount.
Yes.
Now, if some turn up with some account with some other money that he's spending supposedly on government affairs, where did he get the money from? Where is it coming from?
Listen.
No, that's the question. Where is it coming from?
That's the problem.
Where is the money from?
Let me put it this way.
That's why the auditor said it could have come from sources.
No, listen to me. I have said here that if you go to the SIS, NIA, those organizations, there are monies that are spent on emergencies. That because of the nature of the mission.
But at least it should have been declared
they don't
that
come
this
public for it.
But the state money.
If you go to Senegal,
But it's state money.
If you go to Senegal, there is what they call even the boîte noire.
That's for the president, but that's known by parliament.
But that's
Yes,
why in
but Parliament knows about it.
That's why even in the
Parliament
Constitution you have what we call
what noir,
contingency
what
fund.
Parliament knows
No,
about.
there is a contingency fund in the Constitution. That
constituency.
any emergency, you go to the contingency fund.
contingency
The
fund.
Constitution
Yeah,
has
they
already
get it from the
provided that.
contingency
So you
fund.
cannot tell me another
Sam,
emergency.
It's possible that they got it from the contingency fund.
Sam, you cannot justify the creation of a government account outside what has been stated.
Said in the law.
They are not just been
So that's the proof.
I am not saying that the money is
It's
appropriated.
illegal or not.
Nobody
Yeah.
is saying that.
But that's
what
the
we are saying
conception.
is
That's the conception
No,
built
no.
by a lot of people
no,
who
but-
misunderstood.
Yeah, but if you open an account, what should not have been happened, people will generally.
If you didn't go through the legal
People will
procedure,
generally
it's illegal.
Yes, you
And
know,
any
whether or
transaction that
not
took place
what
there
you
is
have
illegal.
done with that money
Look,
is
look,
legitimate,
look.
is another matter.
Yeah. So let me just clear this so that we can
2007.
And this is what Jammeh has been accused of. You will agree.
2017, this government in April was still a rookie. they were trying to adjust to a lot of things that went wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
But they
so-
made a good decision to stop all the accounts.
Yeah,
like
they
you
stopped,
said. But then they started opening this one again.
No, but this one, according to the report, says if you follow procedures,
Yeah.
you can open it.
Yes, but the procedures were
But
not
the procedures are not followed in
because
this
the
one.
accountant general
Not
is
in this
telling
one.
that He is not aware, and he should be
Okay,
the legal
all right,
custodian
all right,
of that
all right.
law.
Now-
But I just want to feel before you come in, Madu, just people to understand. So the issue of the list, why it came in, because they are telling you that another similar account, that's the second account that was created, and $41 was there. But the auditors are telling you that they cannot trace, they cannot have any information, because since the accountant general, who is the custodian of this account, is telling you that he don't have any information about this account. So they could not trace out the expenditure that were wrong. But they lay their hands on the transaction that took place in the account, that people who were paid through this account.
So for
But they are telling you that it's the people now that are telling you that it is per diem. But even the auditors themselves didn't know that it is per diem. That's why they didn't put anywhere in their report that it's per diem. Because it's the person who is paid who can tell you that I do this service for the state and I'm paid for this. So anybody saying in social media, it's just an imagination, but that's not the language of it. So it's only come to reality when the names were published, and D.A. Jao came, he said that he went to Sierra Leone and he was paid because of per diem. My father too, that was the time we don't understand, okay, now this is per diem.
No,
So
yeah, because it looks, even if they have not spoken, if you are familiar with transaction payments, you will know that what is this, what do these people have in common in one account? Then you come to realize that these people might have been paid for something.
But on 15th September,
yes,
repeatedly came into the box.
Yeah.
You know, 15th September. That's
was
UN.
repeated.
That's the
UN
mission.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means that there were a lot of withdrawal on that connected to that event.
That very day.
Yes. But those are budgeted for.
But the problem is
budgeted
you have
for.
people,
So you
people
just
in that.
But then there are people there
that are withdrawing who are not civil servants.
connected to civil.
That's another problem.
That's another issue.
Because nobody.
Listen,
who
are the non-civil servants who withdrew?
They are there.
Who?
For example, we don't know.
We have the wife of the president.
Yeah, the wife of the president throughout Jawara's days, when Jawara was traveling, Modu Bob used to pay them per diem.
Modu Bob is the
that doesn't make it right.
Protocol officer. They used to work it out.
But that doesn't make it right.
The president.
But that doesn't make it right.
Yes,
that doesn't make it right.
They used to pay them per diem.
But that doesn't make it right.
But what I'm trying to say.
So that's the problem. So
me,
it's not me who manufactures.
So okay, yes. He
it was
raised the
not me who
point.
manufactures. So when
The office of the lady, sorry, the first lady is not a government
civil servant.
Yeah, but
okay,
she's the wife,
but she's paid from the per diem.
Yes.
You are telling us that traditionally you work at State House.
Yes.
You were on the Jawara. You work at the Jawara State House. You
was
are
in
saying
Jawara
that
Stand,
you know for sure as a practice, as a tradition, Jawara's wives are paid each time he's going out.
Yes.
So you see
And
nothing
the
wrong with
bodyguards, most of the bodyguards were paid.
Of course,
all of them.
no bodyguards are working for the state. We are talking about the wife. So traditionally it happened. He's telling you that even if it had happened, it is wrong.
I don't know.
And it's the wrongs of the past that the coalition promised that they will correct.
You see, like,
So that's the issue. So for me, just to clear why they
in changing everything by the end
but they maintain some bad ones.
No, I mean,
That's where the problem is.
By 2017,
Kexx started saying that they did very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
They did very well in closing all these
12 accounts almost.
dubious transactions.
Yes.
But then they maintain one or two.
Yeah, one that
That's
was
where the problem
really,
is.
I think, convenient.
So that's the problem. So the problem is, so me,
I don't find anything
so for
wrong with it.
the auditors are
In
saying
the
that.
army, we had budgets that if we want to go for emergency, we hardly account for it. We don't even tell what we
but at
paid
least
for.
the budget was made by the National Assembly.
During the
But it was made by the National
let me
Assembly.
clear it. During the Farafenni attack, there was
I know.
a day when Senegal called for an urgent dispatch of security to go to Tambacounda to verify the remaining
But the army has a budget by the parliament.
No, those were not budgeted.
No, there were no parliament at the
Those
time.
are special security budget.
But you
that
cannot
only the NIA.
They are under a ministry. They must be under a
They must be under a
Only
Either
ministry.
an
the
interior
NIA
or a defense. By then,
They are under a ministry.
yeah, by then
When
the
they say Ministry
defense
of
was
Defense.
under the office of the president.
Hey,
So they
there are-
budgeted it
you
under
see,
the office
listen.
of the president.
Kexx, let me tell you one thing. Governments governments.
We are spending it, and Madi has to
Madi has to. So let me just clear this.
Madi
have power to do.
I'm just done.
We reserve Madi for special.
Okay.
So
for me,
why?
So
Madi has ample time.
Okay. The auditors are telling you that the 41 million that was paid to the second account, we found out that $35 million was withdrawn there, but we could not trace out anywhere because we asked the accountant general. He's not aware of it. So, but we then find out a list of transactions that took place, the people that were paid, and eventually the amount coincide with the amount that was withdrawn from that account. That's $35 million, 488,485, 7.0. So they say that, now they come out with a page 319 of the report. They came out with the list. They said special security account and the number. And if you check the number, it's the same number that they are querying, that these are the people who withdraw. And it's not only people, but even companies that have done service for the states were paid in this account. So that's why it will be difficult. So they came with the list to say that these are the payments that were made. That's where you have the people, all the ministers, my fathers and all. So it was not deliberate, but it's for them to understand that this is what actually where the money was, so that the public will know that this is where the 35 million went. So but nobody is saying that.
Good job, because Sam, he did a good job in publishing the.
Yes.
I agree.
Because the thing is, all this. No, listen. You know what? All this is happening because for the first time, or one of the few occasions, the media published the audit.
Indeed.
Yes,
The media should be commended. The media should be commended because we wouldn't have known all this.
Was Harding Guy paid anything to renovate anything from this account? Harding Guy from this particular account?
Well, the query is okay. Let's now turn to Madi. We will come to that also.
Harding Guy renovate, buy a furniture and so on. Was there anything?
No, as well, it's not captured in this one.
Okay. In any of them, in all of these two.
Point noted. Now let's go to Madi. Madi, you have written extensively about this thing since the news came on the public domain. You've given different perspectives. You've now had the perspective of Sarr and Kexx Sanneh. Let me begin by asking you, what is your perspective about this whole saga? And thank you for remaining patiently, without even trying to get in before he's allowed to do. He's definitely a very disciplined debater. Because some wouldn't have the patience impulse. So, thank you very much, Madi.
Thank you. First, let me register my protest. That is to put me in a panel with Sarr.
Why? Where do you have the protest? Okay, go ahead.
An individual who served as a public officer in this country and notorious for aiding, abetting tyranny and dictatorship that has cost the lives of scores of Gambians and plunder of our resources, and now continue to aid and abet a corrupt government like this and seeking to discredit the excellent work that the National Audit Office has done. The conversation he's taken this thing is not the place. That is not the issue. So I'm ashamed that I'm in this panel. I wish I had known that Sam would be here, because I don't think he has any legitimacy to sit to talk about the life, the destiny of this country when he had the opportunity to serve and decided to undermine the life, the destiny of this country. Having said that, I must say the Auditor General did an excellent work. And it is shameful for anyone to attempt to discredit, to undermine the Auditor General, as the Minister of Health, Amadou Sanneh, attempted to do, as the Secretary General, Noha Toure, attempted to do, and so on. And just like Sam is doing right now. You see, this Auditor General, this is not his first report. You go back 10 years, more than that, you will find this Auditor General exposing abuse, corruption, misuse of public resources since the time of Jammeh. Go to their website, you will find reports there, 2007, 2008, I mean, they're there. So if anyone is surprised about what is happening today, because you never cared, you never went to check. This report, we shouldn't be discussing this report here. either all Gambians should have been out in the streets, or the parliament, the parliament, because this was submitted to the parliament.
Sam, you
You know
have
what?
been silent.
It's okay, all right? This report was submitted to the parliament. That's where the parliament failed us, because they should have acted on this report. You read this report, you will see blatantly public officials, public institutions refusing to give documents to the Auditor General, following them on and on. You will see payments where there are no vouchers receipts shown. You will see payments for goods that are not delivered or delivered in full. So people are talking 669. It was illegal, as Kexx said, it was illegal to open this in 2012. It was illegal to open it in 2017, to reopen it in 2017. But this is just 669 million. In this report, there is 11 billion that government gave to private enterprises. I mean, why are we paying NAWEC? Why are we maintaining NAWEC? Or GAMCEL, or GAMTEL, or ports, or GNPC, and so on and so forth. These are public enterprises, government businesses that are supposed to do business, provide services, and create revenue for government.
Indeed.
Their services are poor, they waste money, yet government goes and give them money and they don't pay back. I mean, what an insult. And we sit here, somebody trying to discredit that report. If there is anyone government should protect, is the Auditor General right now. And if anyone we should scold, is the Gambia government and the National Assembly. It is so shameful that a whole Minister of Health would go to call a press conference to respond to an Auditor General's report when critical issues have been raised there. Or a Secretary General going to the media to give trying to explain anything. Implement the report. Go to the report and take decisions there. Right now, a lot of issues that have been sent to the IGP to open investigations and prosecutions. Because millions of our money has been plundered.
Indeed.
You look at this withdrawals in the security account alone. You see a name like Alaji Sise, Chief of Protocol. Go and read the Jana Commission. The man has withdrawn over $3 million. At the time of Jame, Jana Commission, they asked, what was it? I don't know. I was just asked to go. I gave it to the president. I don't know what he did with it. Today, you go and look at that same report. You see his name there, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. Same practice. Look, this country is not a joke. And we cannot sit here and bring people like Sam Sarr to come and talk about the destiny of this country. So I'm so disappointed that Kerr Fatou would find nobody worthy to bring to discuss national issues other than Sam Sarr, who has failed this country beyond repair.
I disagree that Kerr Fatou would like to hear from everybody.
No, Cham, that is nonsense. No, Cham, that is nonsense. We don't do respect. That is nonsense. We don't need to hear from everybody.
Of course.
No.
Listen now.
Public service. All right. Public service is an honor. Public service is an honor. To serve in public service is the greatest honor any citizen could have. For you to be elected or appointed to go and sit and serve in the public office. So no one has a second chance if you plunder that public office. You have no second chance whatsoever. You have no voice whatsoever when you betray the people. Betrayal that has cost lives, that has cost futures, that has cost people, everything. You have no legitimacy anymore. Because you have a chance. Go and do that in your family. Go and do that in your house. Go and do that wherever you want. But in public office, you have no reason. There is no excuse for you to hold public office and betray it. Because when you betray public office, when you plunder public office, you kill lives. So blood is on his hands right now.
Because
let's concentrate on the audit report. Continue your observations on the audit report.
Can I respond?
No, we will come to that. We'll come to respond. Yeah, we will come to the personal ones. We will come. Sam, Madi, let's continue your perspective of this report. What do you think had been wrong or right in the opening and reopening of the account, and you know, how much the blame should be proportionate between the two regimes?
This act is wrong. I don't see what more anyone can say. And the president, the minister of finance, the government must be held account for opening an illegal account and putting public funds in there. That is, for me, a crime that tantamount to impeachment. Because it's a crime that cost economy, that cost the economy of this country. And one of the grounds for impeachment is for misconduct that has economic implications by the president. So the president should not have allowed for this account to be opened. Or reopened. So there is nothing more anyone can say. And the idea that some accounts, I mean, like the nonsense this man is talking about here, that security, NIA, some military, look, you go to the United States, the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, their accounts, they are under the Congress, they know.
We know when they were talking about the Oliver North
That's why Oliver North had to resign. That's why he has to be indicted.
But it was something that went through for years, and it was hidden.
The National Assembly,
the budget for the payment of the Ukrainian war today.
The National Assembly,
this guy is trying to
you have been silent.
All right.
I
mean, the National Assembly, all right, the National Assembly is the apex body. There is no institution in the country, in a democratic country, that is above the National Assembly. So the budget of the military, of the intelligence, there's a committee in the National Assembly called the Defense and Security Committee. We know for security reasons, not all information about the military, the intelligence, and so on will be public. But there is no information that is beyond the scope of the Defense and Security Committee of the National Assembly. So the National Assembly should know to the last dot how many ammunitions the NIA has bought. How much? What ammunitions do they have? The chairman of the Defense and Security Committee should know that. Because the military, the intelligence, they are to be held accountable. They are public institutions. They are not above the National Assembly. Impossible.
Madi,
somebody said that
what is the government.
All right.
Listen, there are special operations that the National Assembly will never know the expenditure.
Only dictator enablers will say something like that. I wouldn't be surprised for somebody like you to say that.
I just want to justify. I just want to wait in what Madi said. You know, there was an emergency. The guy was talking about emergency. That's why there was an emergency for the Gambia Armed Forces to go for a peacekeeping mission, but they have an agreement with the Turkey government that, you know, the AU, if they go there, any money that they spend will be given to them back. Any materials that they buy, any ammunition or whatever they buy, but as far as they make it, but they must make the half payment, or they must buy the first materials that they want. And the Turkey government was ready to give it to the Gambia government, and they will just pay a half of the amount that was required, and they will supply them. The Security and Defense Council has to come to the National Assembly for an emergency, for the National Assembly to intervene, so that they will have they will be given a money to give it to the Turkey government. If they go for the peacekeeping mission, they will be deducting each military person who goes there, and that money will be returned back when they receive their money from these people. That money will be given back, and the National Assembly has intervened. That's why you see them now. They are in this. You have the military they were going. So any emergency, they could come back to the Parliament. So the issue of emergency should not be a yardstick that money should be allocated to them illegally. This is the whole issue.
All right, Sam, let's come to Pete. I do not want to personalize, but Madi made some personal observations that, you know, I mean, you serve in the system on the Jammeh, so he didn't expect you to say anything.
Okay, no.
I don't want to get into that.
Allow me a minute to respond, because apparently when I saw him walk in fact, you did not tell me Madi was coming.
Well, I don't necessarily have to.
You should have, because probably we would have avoided each other and have this confrontation. Because you know that
what we expected from both Madi.
When he came, I greeted him, but I saw him frown his face.
Listen.
So as if I had killed his parents.
No.
But what I'm trying to tell you, is we should respect each other. In 1994, when the coup d'etat took place, we were at a crossroad where if we did not intervene, this country would have gone into an armed conflict that probably would have degenerated into worse than what we had in 1981. You know, but we stood there and risked our life to save the day. I lived through my career in the military as an honest, straightforward person. I have never committed any crime against humanity or any person for that matter. Probably they brought about the Mbalo Kante issue when a serial killer was brought before the TRRC and caught to lie against me. Even his co-witness clearly indicated that when Samsudeen Sarr came to the NIA, that was the day we started seeing real good life in the NIA. He provided us feeding where we slept and all that, regardless of all the coaching. And nobody gave me the opportunity to go and explain myself, because I was not even in the country that day. Okay. But listen, no, I gotta throw it. And that's where I first heard about.
He did not mention Balok.
No, that was the first time I heard about. I've been reading him saying that I should literally be lynched for torturing Mbalo Kante. And he was so savage in his, statement against me. But next thing, his blood brother, Madi Jobarteh, they said he shivered the guy's breast, nipples, which was not true, I know. This guy's breast was shivered in Liberia because I traced everything. And he was mute about it. When I went to Barrow, he also came out to say that, yeah, just like the nasty words he's saying here, this guy has no right, no moral right to go to the State House, blah, blah, blah. When his brother went to the party he is virtually supporting, UDP, Madi Jobarteh, he was mute. So this tells you about a conflicted person, contradictory in everything he does, and very arrogant about it. And here he is in the victim center. I saw him there. The victim center should be held accountable for who they paid the $50 million that was given to them well before the TRRC was done with their investigation.
Who paid the victim? I'm hearing that.
$50 million was given to them by...
it was given to TRRC, not the victims.
Yeah, it's the victims.
No.
It's for the victims.
Yeah, but
they have even paid some victims.
No, but TRRC got that 50 million.
Well before the TRRC report was completed.
No, but the TRRC has...
You know what?
But the TRRC Act says at any time they are entitled and they are empowered to do reparations, even before the report is coming.
No,
it's there.
I have the TRRC.
No, it's in the Act.
It's not there.
At any time they could.
We are to wait until they complete their report to identify who is a victim and who is not a victim.
There were victims that are already known looking for medical treatment.
Based on what?
That's what the TRRC, that's why they paid those people in kind.
Mbalo Kante was paid. Was he a damn victim? No.
No,
he was not.
That could have been after they assessed and found.
Listen,
I'm talking about those who got
the TRRC.
But those who got reparations, no, those who I follow TRRC.
There is
the
nowhere.
victims, no, the victims that were given reparations.
Yes.
At the time when that 50 million came, mainly are people who needed treatment abroad, who needed something.
I don't think so. Let them publish the list.
No, honestly, that's what happened.
Let them publish the list.
No, that's what happened.
They are hiding it from the people to see it.
You mean the TRRC?
Yes, everybody. We have not seen the list of those who were paid. How much
but
they
that's
paid
where
them,
that's where the how to call it, what is the lady who was Nogoi and others, that's how they were flown to Turkey.
You can cherry pick
and people and some widows
bring me the list
and some orphans,
$50 million
some orphan school fees, some orphans,
how much they paid them.
Some orphan school fees were paid for.
I know people who have been paid who did not deserve to be paid. I know that.
That can be true, in your judgment.
I wish
but to say that the money is...
Publish the list.
Okay, they will.
He is there. Let him push for that.
You mean he's paid?
No, what I'm saying is he is part of the victim center. They know what's going on.
No,
they know who are paid.
He's not.
Let them push for that. Has he ever talked about?
I think he's an activist, but he's not part of the victim center.
Yeah,
he's supporting it. But let's go on with the audit. He made it clear that whether or not what is clear is this account on the Jammeh out here is wrong. And in fact, if there's anything, we should press the Auditor General for doing a fantastic job. He said, quite apart from this, there were issues like people refusing to hand over documents to the Auditor General, and there have been. There was no.
Listen, I was on the UN when they audited us.
He said,
led by this
he said, if you go to the website,
and I have seen things that were wrong over there.
If you were,
they reported them.
If
but
you,
what I'm trying
he's
to
trying
say,
to tell you it's in their website. You said the report. Auditing has not been reported over in Jammeh's time.
no,
he's trying to say
what
it
I'm
was
saying
done.
is,
It's in the
no,
website.
In this particular account,
Yeah.
they have never raised this type of hell about this particular account.
He said it has been there in the.
No. They never. They should have put a press conference as they did.
No, this. But let me tell you, let it background. This particular thing was picked by journalists. Actually, the ceremony was for the COVID account. So you must differentiate. The Auditor General did not call the press conference to give them this report. No. He called a press conference
For the COVID fund.
for the COVID fund, but the journalists saw this also. He went along with them.
Yeah,
the journalists saw this and said,
No,
no, listen, no, not only journalists, the Standard and everybody was there. No, listen,
because
no.
what you
no,
guys
no, what I'm-
cogitated
what
was
I'm
from
trying-
Keba Jifang.
No, what I'm trying
and
to say.
Keba Jifang misled everybody.
Okay,
talking
let's
about
listen. That
I
mean-
had him guy and others were paid from
what
this
I'm saying,
and
what
all
I'm
that.
trying to say, the Auditor General did not call, that must be clear, did not call a press conference for this report. No.
Yes.
What the Auditor General did was for to launch the COVID audit report. He did that with a press conference, all right?
Yes.
And he went along with audit report of other years dealing with other matters, and the journalists obviously are doing their job. They found interest in this thing and they published it. So now don't say the Auditor General made a mess of it. No. He did not call this thing. This was picked by journalists. So
No.
that's
But
clear.
what I'm trying to say is
That's clear, yes.
this particular case, this
Yeah.
particular account,
Yeah, but it was-
has raised so much hell.
Yes, because-
and there has been so much
Okay, that's right.
misconception,
That's what we are,
misinterpretation.
that is why we are here to.
No. The Auditor General should have come up and explain. You see, the right people, ask the right people. Ask, for instance, Lamin Kamara, Kamara is still in the government. He's still there working for the government.
You said
Throughout.
you said
Talk
he's
to
the
them,
first person
because you
you
want
said
to know.
Kamara PS is the first person who deposited.
Yes.
All right, now
And
he deposited into the account.
Yes.
All right.
And he has been depositing.
Constant.
Depositing.
Yes,
And
yes.
withdrawing. Oh no. Or just
No, most
deposit.
withdrawals were done by this Adam Anjai.
Adam Anjai.
Adam Anjai.
Who did withdraw?
And they are all here.
Who was Adam Anjai? President's office.
Yes, he was president.
Prime Secretary, President's office.
Yes, he was president of.
And Lamin Kamara too.
Yes, he was permanent secretary there.
So they were the first people who dealt with this account. That's what you are trying to say.
Yes.
You said those people should come out and explain. That's what you
Yes,
said.
you should have gone there and found
No,
out
listen.
the question of
Yeah.
where were they getting this money to pay to this account.
That is what.
You should have gone to those guys. They're still there.
That investigation is
No,
still
that's
on.
because that investigation.
No, listen.
So what I want to
you have to know that.
No, what I want
No, you have to know that the knowledge about that is just coming out.
I want to conclude by saying this, Lamin. People may have the wrong conception of something in Sarr.
No,
I was a good soldier, and when I was working as a soldier, I stood for this nation. It was not only 1994. That's why probably they did not want to call me at the TRRC, because they misled a lot of people in this world about what happened in 1994. But in 1997, 1996, we stood against attacks in this country. 1997, we stood against, got up from at the middle of the night, carry our weapons, and our families are crying, don't go, and we didn't even know whether we were coming back alive or not, and you think we were joking. You are very dumb to think that.
Yeah, you mentioned
and
contradiction.
when I found out that I couldn't work with Jammeh anymore,
You left.
I left.
And when you left,
And
you
when
left, you were the first person
to explain what was going on in this country.
only to deny that again.
I never denied it.
But
It was
Jammeh-
Pandering Mai who said that I denied it. But I never denied
But
it.
Jammeh was sitting, you were sitting. He said what you wrote in the book was not true.
Yet, what
Jammeh
could
said-
Jammeh say otherwise? What could Jammeh say otherwise?
So you still believe, as you did in '97, that there were wrong things that happened here.
Oh yes.
So there are contradictions on your side.
No, it's not contradiction. This is evolution of our thought according to time and things that happen.
Okay.
We change according to time and events.
Fairly understood.
You are not thinking the same way you were thinking when we
That
met in 1993 going to Sierra Leone.
Freetown, Sierra Leone, yes.
You've changed.
I have a chair.
Oh yes.
Okay.
When economic was coming here, I was one who denounced their coming because I did not know on what basis they were coming.
Today you welcome their overstay.
I welcomed their
Is that,
overstay
is that your politics change or your
no,
principle?
because I wasn't aware that there was a major rebel base just at our border there, which is an existential threat to our national security. I will hate to let them go, and these people can come and render us ungovernable. That's why I changed my perspective about the security.
Not that because you have now towed a different political line, which is
No. No.
Well, that's what people will say.
Yeah. I mean, like, it depends. Everybody has your own, interpretation of how you view things. My enemies will say, yeah, because of this. But in reality, I am telling you why I have changed my perspective of the presence of these foreign forces. Because I did not know that we had this deadly force just about few kilometers at our border that could render havoc in this country if we don't have the right
Senegalese said, I don't know whether you share that thought. You denounced that thought. The Senegalese believe that the rebels existed in our army. You were very much categorical against that.
Yes.
You still believe that's not the case?
No, I don't believe it. I don't.
But the Senegalese still continue to believe that.
Who?
The Senegalese continue to believe that the rebels were abetted and held by the Gambian army.
You say that
Lamin, if you don't have more important things for me, I'd rather live than to sit here and listen to
you see what I will disagree with you.
Yeah, okay.
Sam, you may have your opinion, but has a right to access any platform and express his views about any issues. That's a democratic, enshrined right you cannot take from him. So I don't.
I gotta go.
No, sit down. We are finishing. We are finishing. In 5 minutes. On another topic, just finish. 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. I understand.
Cham, can we talk about more important national issues, please?
We have 5 minutes.
Let's talk more important issues.
We are concluding on the
No, you're going to take another topic.
The six-legged skeleton.
Yeah.
No, listen.
I want to leave that here because I got to go somewhere. I thought it was not 30. I was here about 12.
Oh, you're right. Okay,
so I'm sorry.
I can excuse
and goodbye.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much. Yes, like I was saying, Madi, I definitely don't agree with you.
I am locked and loaded anytime.
Yes, so I don't agree with you, definitely, that when you said somebody, he doesn't have to be here. I mean, every Gambian has a right.
Can we go to next topic?
The next thing is the six-legged skeleton. Of course, I would have loved Sam to be here because he had some things he wrote about it. Now, the nominations. You wrote a lot about it yourself. Let me start with you. What do you see wrong or right in the nomination of Fabakary and Sidi as Speaker and Deputy respectively? I mean, the issues we had was that the two played a part in extending Jammeh's stay here when he was voted out. But of course, the fact remains that these two gentlemen are Gambian citizens. Now, what happened in the past, just as Sam has said, could have been in the past, but they still have a life to live. They still have their convictions about how, and they have a right to participate in public affairs. So were the critics totally right to say they should not have been nominated?
Yeah, there are two issues here, but a country is not governed by opinions or just what you thought. Is always guided by what we call the law. If not, we will have a jungle. So you must have a laws that govern this country, and legally there is nowhere that they cannot serve as speakers or deputy speaker, to my own understanding. Okay. But morally, people can question because of the part that they play to prolong Jammeh, to avert the democratic voice of the Gambian people when they go to the poll and elected a president that they choose to serve them. And these people were saying they were giving Jammeh the opportunity for Jammeh to declare the nation a state of emergency, where he could have dissolved the cabinet and he could have prolonged his stay in this country beyond the constitutional requirement. Others could have argued on that. But when we come to the legal term, that is how the country is governed, the law is very clear that the president can nominate 5 people. And among that 5 people, 2 must be selected to either be the vice president, the speaker and the deputy speaker. That's where it is stopped. There is no qualification. There is no modality proceed.
I mean, most people are saying that maybe morally they should have been people who represent, well, so-called minority people who are not represented very much in the main assembly, or they are not very prominent in government positions, such as in our case they talk about minority religion, disabled people. He said the president should have gone for that kind of decision, and not people, who everybody knows are just there for his political interest.
No, definitely. The best practice tells us that at least people that didn't get the opportunity to be there are the people you should select. Like if you look at the business community, you said, okay, let me go to the Gaipa and look at, we have people who have ideas because we are confronting presently price control, so these people will be in the parliament, so that when the Minister of Trade and industry come, he can exchange ideas in terms of how we can regularize the status of business in this country. You have the people that are physically challenged. Maybe they are the ones who know what is affecting them. So if you have a representative in parliament, like we have Ndeya Sekos in parliament, because she feels what they are going through. That's why she champion what we call the physical disability bill. She makes sure that before she left parliament, that bill was passed in the parliament, because she feel how they were going through, how they struggle to read, because there is no what we call brain reading. So all documents of government documents are hard copies. Government buildings are built without putting at least a stretch for people that are physical challenged. You have to lift them from their wheelchair. All these things were. So she passed a bill there because she feels how what they are. Yeah. So at least you have people that are representing the young people. So that's why the idea of people who didn't get the opportunity to be elected, so that the president will use this five. That's the intention. That's the intention, and best practice teach you to do that. Okay. That's the fact.
Now, you contested the parliamentary election.
Yeah, but the process how they were elected, I have a problem with that. The process how they were elected as speakers, that was wrong. Yes, that was legal, it was wrong. And the Chief Justice justified that they don't need to be gazetted.
Which was wrong.
Which was wrong. The names has to be gazetted for the public. The debate that was going on that very day when we saw the list, that debate could have come when they were gazetted, because the public will know that these are the people who were selected.
But
and
in
they could.
Case, the public doesn't. You have just said that it's the president who has the power.
Yeah, but why they are saying maybe with the ideas coming from the people, because the citizens owns the country. So the opinions that are coming from the people, the president could have changed his mind and said that if it was gazetted, then people will know, okay, these people have raised, that's why it gazetted. And it's there in the legal interpretation, it's there that it should be gazetted. So if you fail to do that, then the procedure that they were elected is wrong. That means that it's illegal for them to occupy that office. That's the only problem that I have with it. But in the whole of issue, but Speaker and David, as we speak up to now, it's the legal procedures we are not taking. And if I was the president, for the best practice, because the track record will be there and history will record it, that we elected a speaker and the deputy speaker illegally, and they are there, and the record will be there.
Well, but what do you make of so far the speaker's statement, which I noticed recently is trying to backtrack? I mean, the speaker's office is concerned that his comments were given an interview with the BBC. He said they are taken out of context in social media. I mean, many people think that he probably got some reprimand or some criticism, or he came under pressure for saying those things. That's why he's trying to, let's say, backtrack or trying to fine tune what he has.
No, indeed, that was.
Were you surprised when he said he still believed Jammeh should come? He still have questions over the 2016 election, and he still believes he's opposed to TRRC and the
even in
the
draft constitution. I was actually shocked.
That was a bit surprised.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised, and he thinking that I could do everything to make sure that the draft constitution, if it comes back, it will go. But that was actually disappointing. You are the presiding officer that should preside over a parliament, that the decision should be fair and balanced. And you are telling us you already take a position
on that.
So for you, we believe that you will not be fair even that documents come before you. And this is the only document since the history of the Gambia that was drafted by us. The 1997 constitution it doesn't even go through the parliament. The 1965 constitution was imposed on us. So this is the only opportunity that the Gambian people sit both home and abroad and draft a document that they said this will govern us, because consultations were taking place. So this is the only document that we can, every citizen contributed indirectly or directly to this government. So every patriotic citizen should support this document, because it is our own document that we drafted to usher in a third republic.
I see in his clarification, he didn't say exactly what was blown out of proportion and what he actually said. That was also left void.
No, he made to understand that he was a speaker. He have no right to participate in debate, and he was like thinking that he would have the right to. So when he was put. Then I was a speaker. That's why you could say that I was just there to make sure that I preside over a fair, because he put himself in the position of the people that were there. If he wants to do that, then he have to call on the deputy speaker to come on board, and he comes down to and he can take part in a debate. But as far as he is presiding, he didn't have any voting right. He didn't have anything to even interfere in the debate. All what he give opportunity to X to talk and B to talk, unless if you pass in debate from the standing orders of the National Assembly, he can put you to check. That's all.
Maybe as people observe, he probably must have been reprimanded by the government that he's talking out of the line now.
Indeed, I think that was the case.
Good, Madi. Thank you for staying here, because I know you at one point you wanted to go, which I don't disagree with. I disagree with you. But you also wrote something about the sixth legislature. I mean, we dealt with how it came into being, how the standing orders, the procedures, how Kexx said the whole thing started on a faulty line, the nomination of the speaker, etc., etc. What do you think the sixth legislature should do, what has not been accomplished by the fifth legislature?
A lot, really. I think, first of all, it's important to say this. You see, you call Kafuma a fellow among the road.
Okay.
And sometimes I have a feeling in the government, I'm follow.
Okay.
All right. From independence to date, if you check, and the very evidence of that, I refer everyone to the 2017 report, audit report, not to some other reports, but just the 2017 report, right? And you see how public funds are just been, pillaged by individuals who are elected and appointed. And as the Constitution says in Section 1, subsection 2, the sovereignty of the Gambia resides in the people of the Gambia. That all organs of the state derive their authority and legitimacy from the people and perform their functions on our behalf and for our welfare. If that is the case, why should this country be a poor country today? I mean, coming down to Kerr, Fatou, look at the road, look at the community. Why should this country be poor? If you look at the audit report, you realize that then we are not poor. Because you see the millions and millions and billions being taken out. If this money was really put into the proper use for this country, we should have been at the level of Singapore or above today.
Indeed.
If you follow the Janet Commission report, that's an evidence to tell you
Millions.
we should have been above Singapore by now.
Billions.
Jammeh bought a tent, $88 million.
Wallahi, a tent.
A mere tent. That is what the brand is in State House until today.
Wallahi.
Yeah. So, and we the people sit here and debate about what the AG did well or not well. The AG doesn't manufacture things. We know the audit process. I come to audit you. What have you spent? Where are the documents? I review. 1, 2 is missing. 1, 2 is missing. Bring it back. You give me or you don't give me, or you give me false documents. I review and I send my management letter. I've reviewed, but I have seen all this. I give it to you. Can you comment on it? You, respond to those things, and I make my final conclusion. So the auditor does not create anything, manufacture anything.
Absolutely.
But why we are in this situation is because when we got to be more specific, is one, we've not had leadership at the executive level. Number one, to manage public resources, public affairs in such a way to bring back what belongs to us. And then number two, we had the scandalous failure of our parliament from independence to date, not checking that executive, to discipline that executive, to ensure that every butut is accounted for. Not just accounted for, but they do their job. And this auditor does not only look at the way money is spent, there is also performance audit. How public institutions, public services, officials, how they perform, how are they delivering goods and services, how qualitative are they doing these things. So this sixth legislature, when the fifth legislature took place, I remember having a meeting with the speaker, Mariam Denton.
You were frequenting the National Assembly. So
I remember sitting with her, and that I have made that point to almost every other National Assembly member, different forums, that the National Assembly that would make or break the Gambia is the fifth legislature. Because I told them, you are now the bridge from independence. I'm not even talking about from Jammeh, but from independence to date, to make that shift, that system change, so that your term to produce that. So system change should have started in the National Assembly. Now the sixth one is coming. Unfortunately, the fifth assembly, they did not do it. This report has been submitted to them. Many other reports have been submitted to them. and nothing happened. So this country, it means continuously is being defrauded by public officials. I mean, look at even the projects they run. Look at the roads they build in our communities. Look at the quality of services. Why is Africell, QCell making profits, not bailed out, and Gamcell is not is being bailed out, and they're all GSM companies? Why is Gamcell not as profitable as the national GSM as Africell?
Africell and QCell.
Because accountability is not there.
Probably also they are serving. They are supposed not just to make money, but to serve the people.
But that's what precisely they're not doing.
Africell is serving the people.
Yeah.
They are giving us, I mean, QCell, they are giving us services. And we buy for it.
Yeah.
Nobody said, Gamcell, you cannot charge $10 or $20.
Yes.
And they are in the market. So, and that's the whole point. Create a public enterprise to provide a public service, but at the same time, to make, When did you last hear a public enterprise pay a dividend to the Gambia government?
In fact, the recent World Bank report was so damning.
Precisely, that's their work.
Right.
Public enterprise must pay dividend to government and create employment for this.
I tell you.
And we learned from this budget that in fact government gave them 11 billion.
11 billion to bail out now.
So we are sitting here, the people we elect and appoint to hold public office continue to plunder our lives, our future, our destiny, our resources. And that's why I said, because I'm sure if I want to take your phone by force, you will fight to death.
I will try.
So what we face is a life and death situation. But you even talk about it, you have somebody like Minister of Lands, Mr. Driver, having the audacity.
I don't want to talk about that because you yourself said you are going to court. So let's take that until we...
Yeah, but just to show how public officials continue to plunder our lives. And we sit here to accept it decades after independence, to live in this abject poverty in this society. And I think it is high time Gambians, each and every one of us, begin to ask ourselves, what is your worth? What is your value?
Indeed.
You claim to be a citizen. What is your citizen? What is citizenship? You said you are a sovereign Gambian. What is sovereignty? You see, when some of us emphasize on April 24, it is not merely a matter of date.
The Republican Day, which was just last week.
All right? It is not merely a matter of date.
Didn't you controversially said it should be marked more importantly than independence?
No, I did not say that.
Oh, okay.
No,
some people call that.
No, I did not say that. What I said, February 18th should be abolished.
Oh, that's even more
completely. And April 24th is our Independence Day. If you wish, you call it Republican Day or National Day. February 24th, 18 is colonialism.
Yeah, but at least we had some sort of self-government.
Come on, we don't have it.
See, this is why I said, Cham, we have to know ourselves.
See, I know.
Cham, if I come to Cham Kunda, you and your wife and children, I sit at the gate down there. I said, okay, Cham, run everything, but make sure, whatever you do, consult me here. You will say, okay, my wives and children is okay. Madi is just a ceremonial part sitting at the gate down there.
All
so
right.
whatever.
I know
we have to know ourselves.
I know what you're talking about.
Right.
It
So
is
the sixth
April
legislature,
20, it was April 24th.
April 24th, the sixth legislature, they have everything to do. We need to change the structure, the character, the systems, the processes of this republic. And that requires serious constitutional and legal reforms. And this legislature, I would urge them to take that with urgency. Because this republic is sick. Completely sick. We need a new republic.
Yeah.
Well, right? Not to mention that this National Assembly, like any National Assembly, it is the heart, it is the leader, it is the mother and father of accountability. At the end of the day, government efficiency, effectiveness, responsiveness, transparency, to bring changes in the lives of the people, rests with the National Assembly.
Indeed.
The executive only executes. They are law enforcement people. But the ones who really make sure they enforce it properly is the National Assembly. So the National Assembly is very critical. Nobody can overemphasize the importance, the critical nature of the National Assembly.
All the more reason I ask you, how did you see the quality and the starting of it so far? What's your impression?
Well,
the composition, for example, of the quality of the people there.
Well,
it's fairly too early, though.
Yeah, too early. But I would want to judge them by their actions. All right, I wouldn't look at someone and just say this or that. Somebody may not have a degree, for example. Somebody may not have 10 years experience. All right, somebody may not have whatever, but the person has values. The person has integrity, and in that National Assembly, he has the the trained intelligence, the natural intuition to realize what is good for my people and stand by it. I prefer that person with someone who is coming with a PhD without any values. So they have come. I think we should give them support, but we should remind them that they have a duty. That the position they hold, as I said, the greatest honor that any citizen could have is to serve as a public officer, even if it is for one day. That in the whole of the Gambia, they chose Lamin Cham as National Assembly member. That is an honor, even for one day.
Hence the name honorable.
And so, to betray that honor, to betray that trust, betrayal that is going to cost, is going to make a Gambian die. A Gambian mother dying in the hospital, giving birth to a Gambian because of lack of resources in the hospital. Making a Gambian child sit in a very hot classroom without, chairs and books. To make a Gambian, to travel from Banjul here to Boraba to spend, the whole day in a hot galegale only to have accident on the road. So effectively, when a citizen dies because of those things, if you're a National Assembly member, take it as I killed this person. That you sit there, you don't go and check that a Gambian is arrested, his right is not violated, is tortured to death. If you're a National Assembly member, those things happen in your country. Take it as I caused this.
Indeed.
Because you have the power and the tools to stop it.
That's
much more to sit here to see one elected or appointed public official taking our money, millions of our money, just like that.
Well, powerful message then to the 6th legislature. Thank you very much, Madi, for that. Finally, Kexx. I want to ask you, you've been personally criticized when you published the thing. People said you did it for political reasons. I want to give you an opportunity to debunk, as is a common, those allegations.
Yeah, actually, like I told you, there's nothing that I manufacture, and I want people to understand that very well. I didn't manufacture anything. Whatever is published in my report is from this document, the auditor's report. There are 2 accounts that the
But then they said that you never missed the opportunity to say, look at the people involved. Halifa and Sidi are not there. You never missed that opportunity.
I never said that. I never even said that. I didn't even write that there. I just report as it is. And why did I bring the names? And this gives me an opportunity. Yesterday, a person calls me whose name appear in the list. Said that she have worked in the office of the president. But since the day one she started work, she informed them that she don't want to be paid per diem.
And was yes. And because if you allow, let me observe here. Cham, I'm not used to coming to people's defense in a certain way, but look, as Kexx said, he did not manufacture this. The Auditor General produced a report. They have a list of payments made in 2017. Names are there. For any Gambian, any human being, when you see a name of list, you see one, I don't want to call any name, it concerns with somebody. Lamin Cham. Who is Lamin Cham, for example? But if you see a name like D.A. Jack, that would interest you.
Yes.
If you see a name like Hali Fasal, that would interest you. If you see a name like Usenu, that would interest you.
Yes.
So if you report that name, you have tens of names, and these other names are there. It is not an offense to say these names are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this is what the public would relate to. That in these things are there. If you look at those names, a lot of them are appointed public officials, executive in the executive. I did not see any lawmaker's name there, for example.
Yes.
I don't know. But when I look at all the names, I did not see. Right, But if Halifa's name was there, I think it should come out. If Sida's name was there, it would have come out. If Madam Dennis' name was, so the fact that name was not there, we cannot scold
that's right.
Kexx for bringing those names.
Because apparently they are not, the operation is sideways.
Yeah, so I don't think people should divert the attention to
and I made
what Kexx put out or not. Let us look at the report itself.
The report, what was it covering?
Very good.
And particularly that special account, why that created illegality. And to find out those payments, the National Assembly should have done an investigation to find out those payments. It's good. Somebody like D.A. Jao and my Ahmad Fatih came to clarify. Yes, but it may happen that others payments are there that are not genuine. And I have no doubt that there are payments that are genuine.
I don't want to expose her name because she wants to maintain that, but she wants to follow this with the National Assembly. She called me. She said she was work there and she have been never paid a per diem because she never went to anybody.
In her case, they receive on her
They
behalf.
go and receive on her behalf and put her name there. She receive it. Just like we have the ghost workers in our system and the people who are receiving salary on their behalf. So this person, so that gives you the opportunity that now that people will now, because she told me that I will not leave this. I will go up to any level to make sure that I clear my name that I have never received a per diem, because I told them that since the state is paying me the hotel that I will stay, they are paying my air ticket. I don't need to be paid for a service that I render to the state by paying me after when I come back, because per diems are paid when you come back. She made this very clear to me, and she called me personally.
She was surprised.
She was surprised that
somebody went and received money on her behalf,
and not once, not twice, her name appeared. So for me, my intention was not to, but I may bring the key politicians so that people will get interest.
Of course, that is the most important.
That's what I did bring all the
politicians. Maximum point of interest.
That's why I bring the 3 of them, 12 of them. But I said it's more to that, and I bring the entire list.
I see the politicians just want to flack you because you they said you are politically motivated.
Indeed.
But thank you very much for a fantastic job, Kexx, I must say. All right, that's about it. In the brunch on Fatou Live. Thank you very much, Madi Jobarteh and Kexx Sanneh. And a little while ago, Sharif Samsidin Sarr. We will be back with more brunch, inshallah, and that will be definitely brunch in the literal sense, because the Ramadan would have been over. Then I'm sure we will be taking a look at that time on the composition of the cabinet, which we learned is definitely very imminent. Until then, goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Data on all Gamcell data bundles. Buy 20 megabytes and get extra 4 megabytes. Buy 50 megabytes and get extra 10 megabytes. Buy 100 megabytes and get extra 20 megabytes. Any amount of Gamcell data bundle you buy, you will receive 20% extra data for free. Dial *302* data amount hash or go to your Yaiborom menu and choose your data bundle now. Gamcell data. It's fast, lasts longer and very reliable. Gamcell Yaiborom.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635 9906.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship, Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.